Hi, this is our final video covering the Hobbit novel study questions. Tonight the girls are watching some silly singing show, some outside. So in this video, we're going to go over the questions from chapter 16 to 19. So chapter 16, A Thief in the Night. Question number 1. What does Thorin vow to do to anyone who withholds the Arkenstone? Thorin vows to avenge anyone who withholds the stone, thus frightening poor Bilbo, who is now in possession of the priceless gem. Question number 2. Who was the thief in the night? Bilbo was the thief in the night. Question number 3. Excuse me, I just hit the wrong button. How was Bilbo able to escape? The Hobbit persuaded Bombur, who was acting as night watchman, to abandon his post temporarily. Bilbo accomplished this by telling the dwarf he would be happy to fill in for him until midnight, as he wasn't feeling sleepy himself. Once the dwarf left, Bilbo put his ring on and slipped down the walls using a rope. Question number 4. Why did Bilbo give the Arkenstone to the bard? Bilbo knew how much Thorin valued the gem and realized the bard could use it as a bargaining tool to speed up the negotiations. This would allow Bilbo to collect his share of the reward and return to his home as soon as possible. Excuse me. Number 5. Who delights Bilbo with his presence, just as the Hobbit is preparing to depart the camp for his return to the mountain? Bilbo receives a clap on the back from Gandalf. Okay, chapter 17, The Clouds Burst. How does Bilbo defend himself against Thorin's accusation that he has stolen the Arkenstone? Respond to Thorin's words of disdain. Bilbo speaks disparagingly of the dwarves, reminding them that he had been promised a proportionate share in the treasure for his service provided during the journey. Why were the Danes people refused entry to the mountain? The bard refused to let them pass, realizing that if he allowed more dwarfs to man the fortress, it would soon become impenetrable, and Thorin would then refuse to negotiate for the Arkenstone. Question number 3. Why did the dwarf attack the bard and the elven king as quickly as it had begun? The skirmish was short-lived, as it was interrupted by the beginning of the Battle of Five Armies. What role does the Hobbit play in this fierce battle? Bilbo is quick to slip on his ring, and he becomes more of a spectator than a warrior. Question 5. What is the gleam in the gloom, and how does it turn the tide of the battle? Just when defeat for the forces of good seems inevitable, Bilbo's sharp eye catches sight of the eagles approaching. Question number 6. What happens to Bilbo at the end of this chapter? Bilbo is rendered unconscious after being struck by a falling rock. Boy, that seems to be a common thing in this book for him. Chapter 18, The Return Journey. Who has sent a man in search of Bilbo? That would be Gandalf. 2. Who has been mortally wounded? That would be Thorin. Question number 3. What protagonist from earlier in the story reappears to do battle with the forces of evil? Bjorn reappears as a bear, and it is he who carries the wounded Thorin from the battlefield. Question number 4. Describe Thorin's final resting place. Excuse me. The dwarf was buried deep beneath the mountain with the Arkenstone at his breast, while on his tomb was placed the Orcrist, or Elvish sword. Number 5. How do we know that Bilbo was well guided and well guarded on his way home? Bilbo was accompanied by Gandalf and Bjorn. Chapter 19, The Last Stage. Number 1. Excuse me. Explain why Gandalf had to leave the party of adventurers near Mirkwood. Bilbo discovered that Gandalf had joined forces with the Council of Wizards to force the necromancer out of the forest. Question number 2. What did Gandalf and Bilbo do with the troll's gold? Bilbo told Gandalf that he had no need for the gold and that he would willingly give it to Gandalf. The wizard, however, insisted that they share it, as Bilbo might need it someday. Question number 3. The commotion that, explain the commotion that Bilbo discovers as he arrives at his home. Much to Bilbo's dismay, he discovers that due to his prolonged absence, he has been presumed dead, and the lawyers have ordered his possessions to be auctioned off. Some of it is returned, some of it he is forced to buy back, and some of the items, the silver spoons, are never returned. Question number 4. Sorry, I just closed my questions there. Okay, so question number 4. Gandalf tells Bilbo he is not the Hobbit he once used to be. Do you agree or disagree? I would say Bilbo has definitely changed with respect to a new awareness of self. He's gained confidence from his adventure, discovering an inner strength and determination that prior to his journey he was unaware existed. Yet he remained the same quiet, unassuming hobbit that he once was, as he still enjoys sitting and relaxing as the world goes by. Question number 5. How does Bilbo Baggins still make use of his magic ring? No longer used to perform heroic deeds, Bilbo reserves it to protect him from unwelcome visitors who come calling. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about the book, please send me a message or give me a phone call. Good luck on your test.